This is the intro to tank review, tank review. This is the intro to a tank review, tank review.
Hi, hello, welcome. How are you? Are you doing well? I'm doing well too. Welcome to the tank review. We're reviewing the Caernarvon and the Centurion. I love these tanks. Well, I love one of them. And we're also reviewing the STRV-81. Yes, the premium Swedish version of the Centurion. They're the same tanks. And actually, the Caernarvon's kind of the same tank. This is actually why I'm reviewing them both, or all three of them, in one review. They have the same gun and they have the same turret, and that's all that really matters. Since these tanks are actually so similar, I'm just gonna go through the differences between the three, or actually the two of them, because the STRV-81, as I said before, is just a Centurion with some rockets on it. So the Caernarvon, as I believe is pronounced, is listed as a heavy tank in War Thunder, but it's not really a heavy tank. You shouldn't drive it like a Tiger or a T-29 or a what's it called? The IS-3. It can't really tank shots all that well. It has a bouncy turret, which it can bounce some shots every now and again, but you shouldn't really depend on it. You shouldn't really depend on the turret bouncing anything off, and you should play this as a medium support tank. The Caernarvon has a 810 horsepower engine when fully upgraded. It has a little bit better armor, as you can see here. The upper plate and the hull, the upper glacis, I believe it's the technical term there for all you fucking tank fanatics. It's 127 millimeters, which is pretty good, especially since it's sloped at 60 degrees. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good tank. What can I say? All right, so the Centurion Mark III has a 650 horsepower engine when it's upgraded. When it's stock, it's 575, and the hull armor is pretty shit all around. You look at it; it's paper. It's not gonna stop anything. Don't head on. Don't angle. Don't do anything in this tank that you wouldn't do in a light tank. This is, for all intents and purposes, is a light tank. The armor, even though it's sloped, it won't ever bounce an 88mm shell. It's pretty shit. I don't like it at all. You guys like that? You guys like that paper sound, huh? Is it annoying the shit out of you, huh? Is my voice annoying you? Oh, too bad, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Alright, so the Centurion and the Caernarvon, as I said, pretty much the same tank. They weigh about the same. The Caernarvon weighs 59 tons and the Centurion weighs 50. So the Caernarvon is heavier, but again, the more powerful engine actually makes it faster. Now, it's not faster in top speed. The top speed is pretty much, as near as makes no difference, 35 miles an hour for both of them. 35 kilometers an hour, sorry. But where the difference is, where the real details are, you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing this whole fucking video long. I did a little bit of testing, not a very thorough thing. I just kind of grabbed my phone and went ahead and did my testing with my phone. The Caernarvon reaches 20 kilometers an hour in about 3 seconds. 2.95 actually was the average, and 30 in about 6 seconds. Now the Centurion, which again, it's 9 tons, almost 9 tons lighter, but has a less powerful engine, when upgraded, reached 20 kilometers in 3.5 seconds, and 30 in 8.5 to 9. It's insane. Something that works really, really well in the Caernarvon is that engine then, right? It's noticeably more nimble. It feels somehow lighter. It goes up hills a little bit faster. The the whole traverse is a little bit faster, especially on inclines. The Centurion sometimes feels a little bit sluggish, which is not good at all, but it doesn't really make a difference since, the difference is so small that if you were to actually quantify it, it would be like minuscule. It would make like almost no difference. But even though I didn't do any testing in this part, but the Caernarvon does feel like it runs a little bit quicker when it's off-road. It's always hovering around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Kilometers an hour, sorry, I keep mixing those up. Another tiny little difference that these two tanks have is that the Centurion Mark III is actually 6.3 battle rating, although this doesn't really make a difference because you're always gonna end up at 7.0 matches. It's just non-stop. It's gonna be tier 5 all the way, and I think that is because a lot of the people who play the British play the Centurion Mark X, because the Centurion Mark X is actually pretty good. It has a pretty good gun. So yeah, now let's talk about the main sort of sauce, the main course of this tank, which is the gun. I love this gun so much. It's the 84mm 20-pounder British gun. Something I love about this gun, and I do mean the whole reason why I play these tanks is the fire rate. When your crew is untrained, the reload rate on this gun is 8 seconds. It's 8 seconds. It's faster than Tiger's 88mm gun when the crew is actually upgraded. With my crew fully trained up, I've got it down to 6.3 seconds. I haven't spent the expert qualification because I don't want to spend gold on it, but you can actually get it down to 6 flat, I think. The shells that this gun carries are actually pretty good. I really like the AP, the stock shot for both of them. It's not a bad shell, at all. It has pretty good penetration, pretty good muzzle velocity. I think it's like 1,010 meters per second, somewhere around there. And it can pan the front of a Tiger's turret at about 1 kilometer, so that's actually pretty good. And the upgrade, however, the APDS, is a monster. 1,400 meters per second. So good. It's pretty good. I think it's one of the only tanks that the Allies get that can actually reliably pen the Yak Tiger at long ranges. Another thing that I really like about this thing is the vertical guidance speed. It's insanely fast. It's almost like the gun it's a stabilized gun. When your gunner's targeting skills are fully trained up, it's almost like that. Unfortunately, that is about all that's good with these tanks. The shells are pretty good, the reload rate is pretty good, and the vertical guidance is all actually pretty good. After that, things kind of start to get a little mediocre. What I'm talking about is the turret. The turret is not bad, actually. I'm being a little bit too harsh on it. It will bounce some shots every now and again, but the gun manlet is only 150 millimeters. Literally every tank that you'll face will be able to penetrate through there. And although it's a small target, it's not that hard to hit if you know what you're doing. Also, the front of the turret, just below the gun manlet, there's another really flat plate that's easy to hit. That's another thing about this tank. The gun manlet is rounded, and the left side of it, or the right side if you're looking at it, has this weird shape that will bounce shots sometimes, but it's not really all that reliable. You can't really angle this turret because it has these sort of cheeks that are like 80 millimeters thick. It's insane. Also, the commander's cupola, although it's like sloped and it has some armor in it, I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I've gotten kills on these tanks by shooting at it, and I've gotten killed myself. You see that sloped armor on the commander's cupola? Well, it's paper thin, so it's as good as useless. Even though it's angled, it's not angled enough to bounce shots. And unfortunately, this is a trend for all three of the tanks. They have the same turret. They kinda have the same hull, the Centurion and the Caernarvon. It's not the same hull, but it feels like the same hull. It's just as long, it's about as wide, so the way the vehicles handle is actually pretty similar. The side armor is the same, which is bad news because it's paper thin. You cannot angle this tank. Even at extreme angles, you can get panned. I've gotten panned from extreme angles. Maybe that's because Gaijin hates me, even though I have a premium account and I spend gold all the time. Come on, guys. Come on. What do I have? How much do I have to pay to win? I've paid so much to win, and I'm not winning. Come on. Come on. Another pretty bad feature that these tanks get is that the ammo rack is located right in the front of the hull. So if you get penned on that really weak lower glacis, you're going up in flames. So I do recommend you get rid of that ammo rack. I think you need to take less than 32 shells on the Centurions and around 30 in the Caernarvon, but I might be wrong. You might have noticed that there's only 4 guys inside of your tank, and this is not good news because 3 of them are in the turret, and these tanks will face almost exclusively 88mm guns from the Germans and lots and lots of 100mm guns from the Russians. And something that both those guns have in common is that their shells carry a lot of explosives. So if you get penned in the side, you're getting one-shotted. If you get penned in the front, you might be getting one-shotted. If a Tiger pens your commander's cupola or shoots you from the back, you're getting one-shotted. So again, the way to play this tank is not as a heavy. An actually pretty good feature that I forgot to mention about this tank is that it has very good gun depression. It's 10 degrees. It's pretty good. As I mentioned before, the vertical guidance is super fast, and the turret traverse is actually pretty good as well. So to summarize, flank, get it hull down, use your gun depression and your fire rate. Those are the only advantages you have over anyone. The reason why I like these tanks so much is because they're a very good test of your abilities. They're quite a challenge to play since you can't really afford to make any mistakes, and because the shells that you get don't really contain any high explosive, you have to be very careful about where you choose to shoot someone. You have to aim for gunners and aimers and incapacitate turret rings at long ranges. So it's just a little bit of a challenge, but when you can make it work, it's fantastic. Both of them, especially the Caernarvon, since you do get a little bit of survivability with that extra armor on the upper glacis. Something that's worth mentioning is whenever you see, particularly when you're in a Caernarvon and you see a Kugelblitz, there's a tiny gap between the turret and the hull, and the shells will go through. So that a Kugelblitz will actually take out a Caernarvon from the front. It doesn't have to get to your sides. It can do it from the front. So watch out when you're out there. Let me know if you would like to see some gameplay of these tanks that I've been talking about. I want to make gameplay and sort of comment on it and comment on what's going through my mind when I'm playing it. Comment on the strategy that I'm taking. But I'm limited to 15-minute videos because fuck you, YouTube. So yeah, let me know if you want more. Subscribe and oh, give me those likes. Oh, those likes feel so good. Yeah, I like it all over my face. Alright, go fuck yourselves, guys. And thank you for watching. Sorry. I probably shouldn't say go fuck yourself before the thinking. Anyway, yes. Bye.